usually what happens is academic research, some 5-10 people read and nobody cares about what's going on, but not when you are doing it from ISB. So policymakers have recognized our research. In some cases have been a part of committees. And faculty doesn't teach what they read in the year 2000. They're actually teaching what they're researching and what they're experiencing and what they're impacting in the real world. That's a big difference about ISB. So one unique advantage of being a faculty at ISB, policymakers have recognized our research. In some cases have been a part of committees. For example, I did a paper on CSR, corporate social responsibility. SEBI had a committee going on about social stock exchange. So they invited me on that committee. Because of my research on banking and I said my interest is access to finance and banking in general. So I sit on the board of Power Finance Corporation as an independent director, which is the largest NBFC in India. So many people don't realize, it's a 10 lakh crore business. That's the advantage. People recognize the value of academic research, and not only that, even industry. There are algorithms that come out of our papers, which firms actually use. We have NBFCs, banks that use our algorithms that we create from papers. So and be it regulators, be it government, and they call us for consultation also. For example, pre-budget consultation with FM. We get invited, we get to present our views. If you see the latest economic survey, they have cited one of my papers. Earlier also they used to cite. So it's very exciting to be a faculty at ISB. So while you teach, you do your research, and you can actually see research creating an impact. So there are, fortunately, I have more than one instances where my research has had some impact on policy or practice. Let me give one of them. So recently during COVID, the union government launched a scheme called PM Swanidhi. It's basically giving a loan to street vendors. Now, issue with street vendors is that they don't get bank credit because they don't have records, they don't have by definition, street vendors are mobile, they don't have any place of work, so no bank will be willing to lend them. So usually they end up borrowing from loan sharks, and the interest rate is crazy. Just to give an example, it's like at least 150% if you annualize. Good thing is neither the shark nor these people annualize, so they don't realize the cost. So that is how they have been living. So COVID, this was one segment which was hit the most. So the government launched a program where they sort of almost forced PSU banks to lend 10,000 rupees to these street vendors, 10,000 becoming 20 and 53 rounds. And they came to us and told us, can you study what is going on? And this is a case where the government came to us and the Ministry of Urban Affairs. They told us to study. So we did do a study. We went to the field. We spoke to street vendors, figured out what is going on right, what the areas of improvement, how things have to change. And the suggestions that we made are now getting incorporated into the design of the program, right? So they have actually come back and told us to do a second round of study. So now we are looking at, can we do some interventions? One thing we realized, although it has had a good impact, there is an issue of information, education. They don't really understand how to use it. So what form of education, what kind of intervention, who should be the lender, how should this be structured? Eventually, how do we make sure they live on their own, they get credit from markets? These are issues that we are working on, and we are suggesting, we are actively working with ministry. When I teach corporate finance, when I say a concept, let's say of NPV, I can actually, because of this directorship, this opportunity that I got from my research, I can give real world examples that I'm going through. So a faculty member who is an academician sitting at ISB, and it's not just about me. There are other finance faculty and other areas. There are people who are on the board of exchanges. There are people who consult with SEBI, which is a regulator. So there are people who work with other areas of government. And industry, not just government. Health, we have an excellent health center about health, where that center and the faculty there, they work with the healthcare industry. So this enriches classroom experience also, for students. Faculty doesn't teach what they read in the year 2000. They're actually teaching what they're researching and what they're experiencing and what they're impacting in the real world. That's a big difference about ISB.